So the swing spreads out. And before we go into the chillaxin poses, I want you to grab the front edge of it. And this is the super awesome secret sauce that you can actually get your bum in there and pull it down so it's towards your knees. So you want to get a handful, yeah, so that you can spread it out. Yeah. So this is the cocooning, okay? The world-class favorite. So if you ever need a break and we're doing something that feels irritable for the underarms, it will take some time for that sensitivity to release because there's stagnation in the lymph system. And so your body's quickly going to detox. When we put pressure on it, it's like squeezing or wringing it out. But it can be irritable, irritating the first time. So go ahead and spread the swing out and just get in whenever you need a break. Okay? So go ahead and just enjoy leaning back. Make sure your head's in there. So we're going to do this together, Milton. Although that looks really great. So stick with us. Okay? Bring your legs down. It'll make sense in a minute. You're like, but this is fantastic. We'll do this for 2 hours. We're going to have a nice long shavasana, just a little FYI. We'll have about another hour of yoga translations is what I call it. So we could take something that we're familiar with and translate it into some yoga poses in the swing. So I love the workshop setting. Not only is it small and intimate, but you get a lot of one-on-one attention that you can ask questions, that we can go deeper into a part of the body that if there's an injury. So that's really what's sweet about the workshops. But then we can do like a half-hour shavasana, sound healing in the swing with a meditation, which is just a lovely way to end on a rainy day like today, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to find our leg loops. Okay, so you can just actually bop it over like that. That works. Okay, so bring one over. Now this is the easy way to get these on, is to just sit in the swing and lean back. So we're going to take the leg loop and we're going to put it behind the knee. You can actually spread it out. So go ahead and pull it down so it stretches all the way to the arch of the foot. Are you okay? Mm-hmm. Yeah, go ahead and spread that out. And then we're going to find the second one. Nice. And you might not be able to see me, so we're going to do the audio cues as well, the audible. Cool. And so, yeah, just make sure that they're spread out. Yeah, so you can hook your foot. So if you have the leg loop over the arch of the foot, over the heel, it'll make sure that it stays on. It's just a nice way to keep it hooked. Okay, so we're like, okay, sleepy time, right? Nap time. So your swing isn't quite down to your knee, so you don't have a lot of material under your bum.
Oh, yeah.
But it's okay. I'm just letting you know that you would want to get it all the way down to your knees just so you had enough to support the body, but you're going to be fine for the pose for sure. Okay? But in general, you would get enough of a handful to pull it down when you sit. Okay. Good. So what we're going to do is windshield wiper. Okay? So just like it sounds, we're going to push one foot down and then the other foot down. Again, it's okay to do bumper cars. We do have plenty of room, so if you, in mid-session here, you decide you want to spread out and take one of the swings in the back, that's okay too. We just enjoy having the extra space. But if you're okay with bumper cars, we all love each other. We apologize in advance. And if you can sync up with your neighbors, it's also really fun. If Fish can do it, we can do it. So we'll figure it out. So this is windshield wipers. Okay? We're really not going for the big workout today with the swing. If anybody wants that kind of dynamic strength, I definitely have lots and lots of sequencing for that in the intermediate and advanced training. Right now, the intro workshops are really going over the basics and mastering the basics. And then from here, we can always give levels where I can show you how we can make it more advanced or more challenging. But for now, just see if you can enjoy that sensation of floating and flying. Beautiful. Thank you, guys. Okay, so we're going to blossom, right? So bring your arms up overhead, and then you're going to just get the swing, that back lip of the swing underneath the arms. Okay? So arms overhead, and then, yeah, get under. Good. And so chillaxin arms. This is called chillaxin arms. It's always a great place to hang out. So we're going to like a mini back bend. I do have clients that are like 80 years old, and this is pretty much as as much as we would do in an hour session together with some leg variations and all that. So I just wanted to show you there are easy ways to use it. And then we're going to try back bend. We're going to try to go deeper. So the same thing, Linda, you would want to stretch that all the way out to your knees next time. Yeah. Now it's too late, but when you get in the swing, and I say stretch it down to the knees, that's why, but you're okay for today.
Okay.
So we're going to take our hands and we're going to reach for the front edge. Yes. Okay? So this is just going to be a mini back bend. So you're going to press your hips towards the sky, hold on, and look back behind you. So you're going to bring weight into your feet, right? Push your legs down to let your hips come up. So that should feel really good. Take a nice deep breath there. I use the swing for a lot of back bends and inversions. Isn't it nice to have this out of the rain? Like all dry and cozy.
How far should this be on your back?
It doesn't really matter. We're just going to reach forward, and then when we push our hips up, it's going to slide. Oh, right? Yeah. So, yeah, if you lean back more, you're going to slide more. So if your hands were up higher, so come back up, Kate. So if your hands were up higher and you didn't slide your hands down, then it would be, there would be like a static line where it would stop. Yeah. Okay? Beautiful, guys. Does that feel amazing?
Yeah.
Supported back bends and inversions. You can do what you want. I will give you lots of time to play. If anybody starts following you, like Miles, then I will tell you to come back out. But as long as it's not distracting, I kind of let people do what they want. Okay, now we're going to grab the back edge of the swing, and we're going to go deeper. And only do this if it feels good. Okay? So we just grab the front edge, which is closest to our knees. Now the back edge is right up, straight up from our armpits. So you're going to reach up as high as you can, and then you're going to let your hands slide this time. So this is where we're going next, Kate. Okay, so when you slide, you can gather the swing into the waist and bring your head towards the ground. Now it can feel a little scary to have your head towards the ground, so hold on. If you feel comfortable, you can start to balance and bring your hands down. You're not going to fall far. Nobody's going to fall out. Just keep holding on if you feel more comfortable. And then you're going to do a sit-up. So crunch, inhale, come up. Exhale, drop your hips. Great. Now what we're going to do is bring our legs wide, and we're going to start to do a bicep curl. So you grab the front edge, closer to your knees again. So the front edge, yeah. And then you start to lift yourself up. So you bring your legs wide and you lift yourself up. And then if you do it a few times, you can gather the swing behind your elbow. And voila. We did it. You can do it. Just pull and lift, and you got it. Yeah, bringing the legs wide and lifting straight up and down is the key. Did you do it? He's like, yay! That's a yes. Yay, works. All right, we all did it. So that's how we can transition really smoothly from our cocoon back into having the swing underneath our arms. Okay? So now you'll notice, just to give you another hint, again, these are all just preparations to do the poses, we can grab that front edge, lift our hips, and slide it under our bum again. So if you need a break and it didn't get tangled, you can transition back. So keep weight in the legs. I'm going to move you to the back of the butt. He's like doing face plants every once in a while. So yeah, so if we ever need to, we can stretch the swing out underneath the bum. So try it one more time. So yeah, straight up and down, legs wide. Good. Okay, so now we're going to come into the other world-class favorite, which is chillaxing. So we're going to bunch the leg loops behind the knees. Yeah, just pull them up. Yeah. So the full chillaxing pose, hips heavy. So there's a tendency to keep tension in the lower back. Now, if we push our hips up, we're missing that amazing stretch where we're tractioning the spine out of the pelvis and creating space in between the vertebrae, which is incredibly healing for the discs and for the nervous system and for everything. So keep weight in your hips. Let your hips drop so you get that tractioning. And then the upper body's engaged. Okay? So this is the forearm press, right? And this is called swagger. We're just going to sway a little from side to side. And I'm going to check out your leg loops and make sure everybody's okay. Now the full chillaxing pose is like this, but keep your hips heavy and initiate your back bend from the upper thoracics. Beautiful.
Oh, you have a twist.
You push one knee down, and then the other knee down. There you go. Really good. Now, I'm going to bring your leg loops a little bit lower just because it's going to be easier for you. Everybody else is looking good. Yeah, you can get a lot of swag and start to swirl around. We have plenty of room for playtime, so feel free. Yeah, if you're saying we on the inside or outside, you're in the right place. Okay, so we're just going to take one leg loop off. So you're going to take this foot out. And just stay there for a sec. I'll bring it down for you. And go ahead and just put that one right back in. Good. Stop. Is that okay to lift your leg like that?
The left one, yeah.
Okay. Well, you did really good. I have lots of clients with hip stuff, so I know what's up. So I can help you in and out if you ever need. Okay. So see if that's a little bit better. Right. So when they're lower, it's easier. That's the key. If they're higher with like chest level, it just means it's going to be a little bit more challenging. So bringing them down, if anybody needs me, you guys are great. You don't need me. I'm like, you guys just play for a little bit longer. I'll come back and pack up.
You can cancel the popcorn.
Yeah, right. So isn't this fun?
Yes.
So we didn't even get started yet. We're just like, we did 2 poses, but it's so fun to be able to float and hang and fly. And then we get this added bonus of opening up the spine, getting the heart blossoming, recalibrating our posture, all this good stuff. Okay? So I'm actually going to bring my leg loops down one so that I can feel what's happening for the hip people. Does anybody else have any injuries that they want to share that they're kind of discovering while we're in the swing and they're like, oh yeah, I forgot to mention?
I actually have my left knee has been bugging me for some time, which I've hit before and it hurt. But and I went to the PT and they gave me hip exercises for it.
Yeah, exactly.
So I've been doing it and it helped quite a bit.
Great.
So,
Yeah. No, that's a really good point. So I've had lots of knee injuries. It was kind of like a hobby of mine when I was younger. Was how many injuries could I get? I did a really good job. Excel. So after having multiple knee surgeries, I have found that the pressure of the leg loops underneath the knees are hitting the kidney points. So the kidneys go in the lower back and the knees, and it actually starts to heal and repair the knees, to have pressure behind the knees. So this has helped me tremendously. My knees just continue to get better and better from doing this work. And it supports me to go into lunges and some deeper stretches like that without straining the joint. So I'll if there's any sort of knee stuff that you're feeling, let me know. I drop your hips. Right here. This is your hips.
Drop it?
Yeah. And then open your heart like really good. Perfect. And now what you're doing, so just look one more time, is you're tractioning the front of the spine. So the lower body is dropping down, the upper body is lifting up, and then you get all of this space where everybody's like this all day, right? On their little computers, driving their little cars, or big cars, and their whole body is crunched in front. So this is creating all of this space and openness. That's beautiful, Linda. That's where we're going to go next. Okay. So we're going to come from our swagger into some freeze frames. So let's all just do mellow, low gear. Nice slow swag. Right? I just saw this amazing, just telling Lori stories while you guys are here. Yeah. So I'm at the convenience store, and then it was a rock star advertisement that said the summer of swag. I was like, oh God, we are going to use that. So the summer of swag is coming. We're getting our swag ready. I just thought that was so great. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and bend our elbows over towards the left. We're going to straighten the right leg and then twist slightly. Just slightly. Just see if you can keep the left knee bent, right leg extends. Now it's the same kind of diagonal that we were doing before. And see if when you push the right up towards the sky, if that actually feels good. So it's up and then towards me. So it is an internal rotation. And then the other hip is dropped a lot. The other hip is dropped a lot. So dropping. Okay, good. Nice. All right, switch sides. So extend the left leg. We have to do this together so we sink. Okay? Go ahead and twist so the elbows are coming towards the right. And then you stay dropped into the right hip flexor. Yeah, beautiful. So that's called freeze frame. I made up all the names and sequences to be silly and funny and playful. So let's go ahead and bring the elbows over towards the left, straighten the right leg. Coming back to our first side, really good, guys. And then through center, go ahead and bring the elbows over to the right, extend the left leg. Ooh la la, that should feel really good. Nice. Coming back down. Let's just take one floating child, which is a nice way for you to take a break if you ever need to. So this is called the YT, the arms, wide T, and then go ahead and exhale and wrap. Both arms around the leg loops and pull in. So floating child if you ever need a break. You can round your back on this pose. This is one of the few poses I actually encourage you to round your back. So you're pulling all your energy back towards your navel and harnessing that energy. Beautiful, guys. Let's go ahead and blossom. So go ahead and inhale, expand the arms, expand the legs. Keep the hips heavy. This is key. Keep the hips really heavy, and then let the heart open. So again, the weight in the lower body is letting the upper body traction open. Hands towards the sky with the gesture of receptivity, and then go ahead and practice some jazz hands. Shake it out. Jazz hands. It's okay if we touch feet. Beautiful. And go ahead and come back through center, wide straddle, T, and then wrap around. So floating child, hang out here. So even if you're leaning forward, do you notice that it isn't bothering your underarms as much? The underarms. So this is a totally different pose where the underarms usually feel okay, but you're also stretching the pectorals. So I have a whole second module after aerial yoga playing, and you learn that. It's called AYRx, Aerial Yoga RX. And so the AYRx is the regenerative therapeutics of how you can use the swing to start to heal the body. So when anybody shows up with an injury or something going on, it actually benefits us all to slow it down and learn some of those tricks. Okay, so we're going to take our left foot and put it on top of the right knee, and we're going to come into a floating pigeon. Floating, flying, everything. If anybody feels like their feet are getting a little numb and everything from the pressure, you can just extend and straighten the leg, and then that usually helps. Okay? So expand if you ever need a break, or just be like, oh, what do you do when your arm falls asleep? Then we'll tell you. Okay? But feel free to expand when you need. So floating pigeon is with the hips heavy if you can. Okay? We can do the same thing. We're going to wide T the arms and then wrap around and pull in. Ooh la la. That makes it a lot stronger. So wrap your arms around if you can. It's okay to lean back. Oh yeah, so I wanted to show you guys how we can come into, it's a new pose that I created called can opener. So in can opener, you can hold on to the swing, push your hips up towards the sky and lean back. So Milton was inspiring this movement. So this might be enough, right? So the little bottom foot is the can. And then if you want to go further, go ahead and try a back bend. I'm going to give you levels, okay, because we're all different kinds of monkeys today. So if you're happy with the mellow, stay there. Otherwise, reach back and grab your foot for a half bow, one hand or both hands. Don't make it so hard that you stop breathing. Make it so your heart can open and your lower back can relax and your belly blossoms. And then go ahead and release. Hold on to the swing. Inhale up, exhale down. Yeah. If you feel nauseous at all, come on down to the floor and take a break. That does happen. That's your body detoxifying. We are like, yes, we're detoxifying, but it like sucks in the moment. So you just have to like come on down and ground out if you need. It's really common. And I can see it in your face. It's usually like,
I'm really hungover too, so it's
I
didn't mean to be.
Yeah.
And then every time I go back, I'm like, oh god.
Oh god, why do we do this? Okay. So I just want you to take it super slow, even though so Kate's a yoga teacher and she's super embodied, so it's gonna be hard to slow it down, but I want you to take it real mellow. Okay?
Yeah, not a problem.
So, yeah, okay, good. So can you get your ankle on top? Would that be okay? And then the foot can hook, and that's like a nice way to protect the knee. Whenever we flex the foot, we're actually protecting the knee. Nice. Okay, so floating pigeon, second side. So when we wide T the arms, wrap around and pull in. Now we drop our hips a lot and Oh man. So if you're not going to wrap around, Linda, will you come into the forearm press, because this is going to start to irritate your underarms if you just hang like that into the armpits. Do you see what I mean? Yeah, good. So the forearm press just gives you a little bit of space there, and it lifts the chest. So your head isn't collapsing in this one, your head's in line with your body. Mm-hmm. And if it is painful, just take nice deep breaths into it like you're doing. You're doing great. Mm-hmm. Are you able to usually go this far on the ground?
I can't do anything.
Yeah. So this is so good for you. This is why I love the practice, and I worked with Lori and like 100 different people with hip problems. And I'm just taking little bite-sized pieces today and giving you a lot of information. Every workshop's different. This is whoever shows up, we respond. What is happening is while you're stretching the muscles, especially around the outer femur attachment, you're actually creating space in the body instead of so much compression. Yes, the hip flexor is folded, but it's not being crunched the way it is with gravity on the ground. So you're creating maximum space for the stretch to happen. And then we want to strengthen the muscle around an expanded space instead of a crunched space. Does that make sense? Yeah. So it's so simple, and it's just this really logical concept that I think people are going to really get the swing and why it's so beneficial. Okay? Now, if you're feeling done, go ahead and come back into a child's pose and hang out there. If you're wanting to come into the can opener, reach up and grab for the swing. You're going to press your hips up towards the sky. You'll notice my bottom foot is pulling back. Okay? And then I'm also flaring the right knee open. And then when I come on down, I can reach for the foot because it's right there. And then the arm can come overhead, or go ahead and grab with both hands as long as you can breathe. You stop breathing, and your body's like, oh my God, please back off. Okay? So can opener, wherever you want to be for today.
Could you do like a king pigeon here?
King pigeon.
Like bring the foot.
Right, there's another one like that we'll get into. And it is part of the pigeon sequence, so that's a really good question. And it's one of my favorites. Okay? When we're ready, come on out. Okay, let's do that. Let's bring you down. If anybody feels like they're going to pass out, then you let me know, and we'll have you come to the ground for a child's pose or just shavasana. Okay? Yeah, so a lot of energy is releasing quickly. So go ahead and just come to sit. There you go. And have a break. Whenever you need to take a break, it's totally okay. The other thing about the swing is that it's really, really powerful and intense and quick. So in 5 minutes, like a 5-minute workout in the swing is like all you need to completely recalibrate your body. I have this ultimate 5-minute workout that I have videos for, and that's all you really need to do. I mean, obviously, you can do more, but if you want to do less, that's fine too. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and do another pigeon sequence, just because you were asking about it. Now, Linda, if you feel like you want to go to the back or, sit in this, whatever you want to do, I want you to feel completely welcome to do it. And if you want anything from me, I'm happy to give you a little one-on-one attention, so you just let me know. So when we press the leg loops down to the ankles, this is called floating Buddha. Hips heavy. Try to keep your hips heavy. Go ahead and drop the hips a little bit more. So I want you to, Lori, I do want you to pop up and assist when you see Milton like that. Just give them a little push in the hips so that they can find the deepening. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the extra help. So Lori, just use the cues instead of the words, because then it's distracting, okay? Thank you.
Yes.
I know, I heard that that's one. So we're going to direct questions up here so we all can stay together. Okay? And it is okay to bop one another, but if you can synchronize swim and try to figure that out, that's always nice. Right now we're just windshield wipering. We're going to come through center. So this is another form of the, very nice, really good. This is another form of the wide straddle T. Right? When the leg loops are further away from the center point of the body, it's harder. So you guys are collapsing here. I'll let this too. So pull down, find your lats. These are called your lats. So you do that without moving the hips to my lower body. That's really nice. So my lower body didn't move, but I learned how to really engage the upper body. Yeah, keep your hips heavy though. Drop your hips, drop your hips. Get that? So this is not a movement we normally do, and it takes every single person I work with a little bit to start to figure out how to isolate. Isolate the joints. Okay, so chillaxing arms is a nice way to come into a supported back bend, or go ahead and let the hands blossom open towards the sky again. Palms up, lean back into it a little bit more, Kate, if you can. There you go. Beautiful. And then drop the hips. So we're getting that nice big arch through the thoracics. And then we're going to squeeze the legs together. I think we have enough room. Okay, everyone, if you have a head in front of you, you just open up your legs a little bit and you're like Legos, right? But I think we're all good. Squeeze the legs together, squeeze the hands together to prayer. That's right, around the swing. Press the hips up towards the sky and lean back. This is our reverse namaste. Make a wish. Pray it out. All right, beautiful. Exhale, drop the hips down. And inhale, blossom, wide straddle tape. This is our half vinyasa flow that I created for the swing. Really simple sequence, but it feels really good. So inhale, T. Exhale, this is called star. Exhale, star. Inhale, squeeze the legs together, squeeze the hands together. Exhale, press the hips up towards the sky, reverse namaste. Oh la la, so good. Exhale, go ahead and drop the hips down. Inhale, open it up. Nice flow, guys. All right, one more time. So inhale, T. Exhale, star. Open up. Inhale, together, legs together, hands together. Exhale, lean back, reverse namaste. There's also some ginger lemongrass tea in the other room. Go ahead and exhale, sink down and open up. That might be really nice. Okay? I always drink ginger tea before getting in the swing too. I drink ginger tea all day long, but I just happen to be in the swing too. That really helps settle and cleanse the body. Okay, so the other pose that we can do is called swing bada. So swing bada bada. So bring the bottoms of your feet together. You're forgetting my retarded humor. So go ahead and push the knees away from one another. Now the double diamond is when you go ahead and clasp the hands behind the head. Make sure the swing is up high, right? Because if not, when you lean back, it's going to end up on the ribs instead of the heart. So double diamond is when you have your elbows spread out wide and your knees spread out wide. Hips are kind of medium, right? You have to push them up slightly to keep the feet together. And then you can just play a little bit with the swagger from side to side, but keep the feet together. Just tiny little micro movements. You can feel the chest opening, the shoulders opening, the hips opening. This is a really great pose. Even though it's super simple, you can go really deep here. And then we're going to inhale and blossom again. Wide straddle tape. Really good, guys. Okay, so I'll show you, and then you can just get in when you're ready. You can take your time, but we're going to come to the floating pigeon, which we were talking about. So go ahead and bend the right knee in. I like to hold on with both hands. Yeah, we always, thank you for reminding me, Alexis, we always keep our hook. We always keep our anchor. This is our anchor under our arms. If we tend to oh, look, it's so much closer. If we just reach like that, we lose our hook, which doesn't necessarily mean we will fall out, but if we were going to do a flip or something crazy from there, we could. So we learn the anchors and the hooks and the easy poses. That way when we get into something a little bit more dynamic, we already know the holds. Okay? So this is the floating pigeon. Okay, we're going to just take a couple breaths here, drop the hips, see if you can drop the hips a little bit more. Nice. And then go ahead and open it up nice and slow. Beautiful. If for any reason this bothers the knees to fully extend, you can bend the knees slightly. And then bring in left side. Okay. You can also try just coming into the cocoon as well. That might be nice. And you can do all of these stretches like I showed you from a sitting position with the leg loops on. So you can just kind of lean back into it and then take it easy that way. And I do recommend hydrating because your body's just releasing a lot. Yeah. Are you taking any painkillers or anything like that for your hips? Sometimes when people take painkillers, it's just like your body has been storing it in your fat tissue, and then it's like you took 10 at once, right? It's just like, And so my psychedelic friends are always like, oh my god, I feel like I'm tripping. I'm like, well, you might be. Alright. So sometimes that happens. Rain, I know, how exciting. Okay, so floating pigeon. Open it up, let's try that one more time. So we're going to bend the right knee, arms wrap around. If you need a break here, it's okay, but again, you just kind of get used to that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to assist. So we take our right hand and we pull the knee in. Go ahead and pull in. Yeah. And then we're going to push the knee down. So notice that this is a totally different stretch. I call this the money pose. So this stretches this amazing area along the iliac crest that opens up the lower back. Ooh la la. Right? There's no other stretch that I've ever done that gets into the piriformis, the piriformiae like this. Okay? And so this would be a really challenging pose for you, Linda, but if you did it when you're laying back in the swing, you could just do tiny little micro movements. Beautiful. And then from here, what we're going to do is I reach up a little bit higher. So this hand, this is the left, it reaches around for the foot and then slides up. That's how you know you got the leg loop. Yeah, and slide up as high as you can. Yeah, there we go. That way we know we got the right one. So it's a diagonal. If I ever say diagonal, that's what I mean. But until then, we find the foot and then we slide up. And then we keep pressing the knee down towards the ground. Like I said, my knee's a little sore, just a little baby sore, but I'm like, no, I feel you. And then you're going to press your hips towards me. This is called side kick. Don't let go of your anchor. Don't let go of your anchor. No? Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty much the extent of my language. Okay. And then you can actually lean back and arch and open. Okay. So you were asking about the pigeon pose. Now, if anybody wants to come, so if you get like crazy with it, it's called flying ninja. If you're super relaxed about it, it's called side tree. So flying ninja is like the version. And then you can bend the back knee. Okay, so left knee bends. You can actually grab the foot. Left hand grabs left foot. And then if you're super duper flexing and completely unnecessary, to grab the hands, getting the foot into the elbow crease. This is the super pigeon. Isn't that amazing? And then you lean back into it. And it just feels amazing. But it's like way too far for most people to go on a beginner class. But I just want to show you. And then we unfurl, unravel, really good. Let's do a couple windshield wipers. Whenever we do something intense, we just chill it out, right? And we can just chill out by leaning back, keeping the hips heavy. Everybody practice getting that tractioning through the front of the spine. So hips heavy. If you drop your hips a lot and open up the heart, then you're going to open up that nice little love handle area here just by swaying from side to side. Beautiful. So keep going for a few breaths. You can even close your eyes and just lean back into it. Use the chillaxin arms. So can you open your heart a little bit more? Yeah, there you go. Without getting like kicked. Would you like to try the leg loops on your feet? You good? Okay. Just take care of yourself. Sometimes it's nice to extend the legs. So if you change your mind out, just hit your head in a little bit more. Very good. So Linda, I usually say this to people too, like anybody can come to a workshop, and then I'll usually say like you would benefit really well from doing a private session with me, because I do healing work, and then we could really get into it. So then, we have a little sample or taste in the workshop, which is I told Alexis too, but then there are lots of people just come to me and work one-on-one, which is, you guys are like this close to one another. We're like, let's put the really tall girl in the center. So Kate, if you want to spread out, honey, there's other swings in the back. I'm happy with you here. Okay. I'm just saying, if you feel like, getting your freak on. That's fine. Okay. Yeah. Everybody can do what they want, which is so great. Right? We're all sentient free beings anyhow. Okay, so let's come back to neutral. Let's try second side. Thank God we have two legs, we can try it again. left knee bends. So we're going to do step by step. I know we want to be flying ninjas right away, but we're just going to come into our floating pigeon first, right? So remember, keep your hooks. Everyone's doing great. I'm just reminding you, right? Yeah. So perfect adjustment. So you lift through your chest, so the arms are engaged, but then relax your hips as much as possible. Can you get that engaged but relaxed in the body? It is so different. Most people are either tight or they're just like, ugh. It's really kind of funny. But can we engage the part we're using and relax the rest of the body? Really good. Okay, so then we're going to assist. Left hand grabs your left knee and pull it in. So this gets more into the gluteus maximus and the outer hip. So this is a totally different stretch. If you push the hips up, then you're missing it. So drop the hips down so you can square the hips. That's what I call it, square the hips. Okay, you don't have to go too far to get a big stretch here. The chillaxin poses where we did the floating pigeon with the knee over, that's a nice way to start, and this is, of course, a little bit more intense. You have to keep leaning back. Yeah. Now we're going to try the money pose. Go ahead and just push the knee down towards the ground. It's okay if the right hip comes up for this one. Okay, we're actually spiraling the knee down. So when you spiral the knee down, that's when you really feel it. Nice. Ooh la la. And then this right hand is engaged, of course. Don't let go of your anchor. Let your hand slide up a little bit higher. Push your knee down towards the ground so much that the bottom of the foot finds the inner thigh. Inner thigh if you can. And play with Miles is here. Sorry about that. He's totally okay with it. I asked him before, is it okay if people play with your hair? Yes. Okay, and then extend the arm if you can. You're like Legos. Everyone just spits. Extend the arm. Feel like a ninja. Okay. Yeah. And then bend the knee. Bend the right knee. Now, when you bend the right knee, you can, the supermodel pose is when you take your left hand and support your head. Yeah, there you go. I can't hold my head up. So, I feel pretty about it. And then go ahead and grab for the foot. So right hand grabs right foot. You can stretch so it goes into the elbow crease. Interlace the fingers. Come into the super pigeon. Super pigeon. All right, unfurl. You're spring loaded. Really nice, guys. Cut back. Oh, wipers. Very nice. Is everyone good? Does anybody have any questions? We have about another half-hour playtime and then a nice long shavasana, so just stick with it. For today, we'll listen to some really nice Tibetan bowls and go into deep meditation.
Sounds great.
Yeah. It's like, when do we relax again? I'm so glad. I'm kind of hypey. If any of you know me, I like being all crazy and dynamic, and we'll do a little bit of that, just so you can see what we do. But today is super mellow over here. Okay. So we're going to come back into this pose. This is the swing bada. Beautiful, Lori. Go ahead and find swing bada with us. That was lovely. Okay. Find your knees. So both hands on the knees. Slide your hands towards your ankles and then up the leg loops. Awesome. Really good, guys. I have about 22 different versions of the swing that I've made. Everybody has a bit of a different version. And whatever version you have is totally okay. If you can reach to the top of the nubs, these are the scientific terms, the nubs. So, no, not you, because they're too high, but that, yeah, you can. Okay, cool. Now when you push your feet together, you're going to have a little bit more material to hold on to, and then you push the hips up towards the sky and lean back. You have to keep your knees open. Nice. This is called flying monkey. It's a favorite. Nice. So the more you push your hips towards me and lean back, you're going to get a great stretch to the neck and front of the shoulders. Okay. Exhale. Go ahead and come back upright. Don't let go of your anchors. Keep holding on. I know you want to let go. Bring your legs wide. Wide straddle. Yeah, really good. You can hold on to one or both. Both is ideal, but it doesn't matter. Now, when we're in a wide straddle T, like I said, I was going to do a little strengthening with you. You don't have to, only if you love it. But you can do some wide straddle, splits, bicep curls. So just try a few. They're really nice. Only if you want it, otherwise you're like, no, thank you. I don't feel like using my biceps today. All right, but there's different ways that you do it, and then you can come into flying squirrel, which you were just doing, Alexis. You just lean forward. You just become hypermobile. So you have to do the bicep curl and then lean forward. So that was the key. Hold on to the top enough. Yeah,
I can't do it.
yeah. That's why we don't normally do it in beginner class. But it is, yeah. And then make that face. Don't flip over. Flipping over is for next time. All right, I'm flipping over. Okay, so for anybody who wants to be crazy, we can get into the kamikaze from there and do a flip. But we don't ever teach that in the beginner workshop, so only because there was some spontaneous flippers, which was really fun. Yeah. So that's how we can go from something really mellow to a little bit more advanced to something else. And thank you for just playing along, Milton, and not trying the kamikaze. He's like, nah, good. Not trying anything crazy. Really good, guys. Okay. Let's just go ahead and do one more flow. So vinyasa flow at the ankles, and then we're going to switch it up. Inhale to the arms. Exhale, come into. What is this called? Star. And then squeeze the legs together, squeeze the hands together, press the hips up, reverse namaste. Now we did this one in the beginning, we're going to try it again. This is the other half of the flow. Go ahead and hold on to the swing, let it slide down into your waist, and keep leaning back. So you're going to squeeze your legs together, nice long line of energy, head is pointing down towards the ground now. Wiggle the swing into the sweet spot on the waist. And then if anybody wants to come into the full ladle pose, so you can see Lori back there, since you can't see me. Lori, bring your arms up overhead if you can. So the full ladle pose is palms up towards the sky, nice long line of energy. Lori's our visual cue in the back. Upside down. Beautiful. Inhale, swim the arms up and reach. Hold on to the swing. Inhale up. I know. You're like, no more inversions. The back bend inversions are my favorite. Okay. And then we can just slide right into our chillaxing pose from there. Is everyone feeling good? Does everyone need a break from the swing being underneath your arms? Maybe. All right, so then we're going to switch it up and come into a different sequence. The sequence is for the forward folds. It's the down dog translations. Okay, so this is how we come out. So get back in. So anchors, right? Always keep your anchor. Reach for one leg with both hands. Let's try the right one. Go ahead and get that foot onto the ground. Stay seated. I know it's tempting. You're going to want to stand up and jump around. Stay seated. Foot on the ground. Remember your toes come to the front of the mat. Second side. Reach around. Grab for the leg loop, bring your foot down. We're in our singer squat. Let's go ahead and heel toe the feet together. Inhale, arms open wide. Go ahead and come into your fullest expression of the back bend. Big supported back bend. Inhale, open up the arms wide. Exhale, bend the knees, and we're going to swim forward. Angel wings. Ta-da! Really good. Go ahead and press the hips back. Press the hips back. Really good, guys. You guys are all angels. I know, it's so fun. Usually we do that a bunch of times. We're going to get right into our forward folds. So this is the wide straddle forward fold with the elbow hook. Go ahead and let the swing slide into the elbow crease. Bring your feet as wide as you can. Find the edges of your circle. Yes. Hips are directly over your ankles. If you're leaning forward, we call that peppermint patty, and you'll get the sensation. But we want to keep the hips back and keep them right over the ankles so we have a nice solid foundation. And then we're just going to sway a little from side to side. Now remember, the side to side are semicircles and not linear side to side. So use your gaze to trace the edge of the circular mat. And just let yourself play a little bit. Shake out your hair. Roll your neck around. Whatever feels good. If you feel like you want to bend one knee and then the other knee, it's all good. Whatever you're feeling. Okay. You're doing great, guys. Then when you come to center, we're going to go ahead and drop left hand down to the ground right underneath the heart. Okay. Look up. over the right shoulder, pull down strongly with that right elbow. I like to make a fist. So when I pull my hand down towards the ground, I get this nice readjustment in my lower back. If I'm creating a lot of space, so go ahead and lengthen from the tailbone to the crown of the head and spin on axis. And then exhale, go ahead and just look back down to the ground. Let's try that one more time. Inhale, go ahead and pull down strongly. Pull down strongly, look up towards the sky, over your right shoulder. Beautiful. And exhale, go ahead and look back down towards your left fingertips. So get your hand right underneath your heart. You can lengthen out a little bit more, kind of like a football thing. Yeah, there you go. All right, so right hand straightens. Straighten right hand. Grab the swing. Let it slide in. We're on the swing instead of the leg loop. Oh, yeah, it's okay. And then when we swim it overhead, I'm going to pop all over the place. Unfurl. But get both hands in there. Go ahead and just bring it overhead. Clasp your hands together and drop. Now, if your shoulders are in any way unhappy, bend your elbows. That's totally okay. Straight arms is a little bit harder, so just drop. Let your weight drop. Okay? I want you to just do tiny little micro movements from side to side. Nothing big, because you have a big angular momentum here now that we have the twist. But just see if you can get a little bit more openness, a little bit more space. And then we're going to do a little bit of dynamic strength, not too much today. We're going to inhale and press, 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 and come to stand. Now, if you use your back, it's going to be super easy. If you use your arms, it's going to be super hard, right? So just use your arms to lift. Inhale, press, 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 press. Come up. When you get here, pause, and then exhale, come on back down. Don't go down as slow as you can. This is how we get the strength to come into some of the super fly poses and do the acrobatics, but we get the arms ready. Really nice. Come on back down. Nice and slow. Pause at the bottom. Open up the heart. And then one more time. So we're getting the shoulder opening and strengthening at the same time. Beautiful. So come to stand. Take a little break. Left arm overhead. Get the exhale and hook the elbow. Second side. Switch. Or just get to the second side. However you can. Okay. Right hand right underneath the chest. Inhale, look up. Exhale, twist on axis. So from the tailbone to the crown of the head, nice long line of energy, pulling down strongly with the left elbow. Nice. Squeeze, wring out the spine, and then exhale, look back down towards your fingertips. So different to do the wide straddle, just with this little bit of assist with the swing. Inhale, go ahead and pull and twist, look up towards the sky. Exhale, go ahead and look down towards the ground. Okay, we straighten the left arm. So grab for the swing. And then bring it overhead. You might get bopped a little bit by the leg loops, don't mind them. You just want to get involved. Now you bend the elbows a lot. Now the same thing, just take a moment, take a couple breaths to just sway it out here. Gentle, little micro movements. Just let it feel good. Slowing it down. When we come to center, we're going to inhale and we're going to press, right? So use your arms. So it's a tricep curl, right? So press, come up. You'll actually feel your core if you're using your belly. If not, when you're using your arms, it'll feel really easy. And then when we go to superfly, your arms will know what to do. So just try it. Inhale up. Exhale, go down. One more time. Inhale, press, press, press. Nice. So we could do like a whole hour of the crazy hard body boot camp, blah, 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 like Pilates stuff, but I'm super not into it. But it's nice to know we could, right? We could do that for an entire hour and get all buff. But let me show you why that's so important. And it's not that we're going to do Superfly today, but I actually just want you guys to have a little moment to have a break, and I'll just show you what we use that particular movement for. So don't do it. I know you want to. Maybe later. So swing is at the waist. I use my leg loops and I push my feet into the swing and I have to press to come up to superfly. Okay, and then I'm fully extended. Now if I don't have that capacity to use my arms, because I was strengthening my back when I was on the ground, we're not going to have that ability to press and have the arms flexible enough and strong enough to get the full extension. I don't teach Superfly in the intro workshops unless we have like a super crazy zany group, and then we just go for it. But we do that in the training and the more intermediate advanced stuff. Okay? But if we learn how to do it on the floor, then we feel more confident and safe to do it in the air. And so everything we're doing kind of builds on itself to get to the next level. Okay, so let's go ahead and come into the forward folds together. So swing is going to be in front of us. Okay, we stretch it down. Okay, doing great. Now it is going to bunch up. Most people will kind of want to wrestle with it and spread it out. It doesn't really work in the forward folds. You're just going to have pressure on your hip flexors. It's like a free rolling session. Just think of it that way. So we lean forward. My feet are towards the center of the mat. And then I'm going to drape my upper body down. So sometimes we'll want to float and fly. Keep the feet nice and heavy. So this swing is brand new and it's like shedding all over you. Look at these little guys just coming out to play. Sometimes the new swings are like that. Okay. Yes, so forward fold. So feet walk towards the center of the mat. So it's not a down dog yet. And then go ahead and clasp your elbows and just hang. So you're letting all of your weight drape down. Really nice. So it's so nice to be able to use the swing to get like some extra space happening in the body. So we're still energetically pulling the heels down, although our weight is leaning forward, so we're not actually going to get there. You doing okay? Yeah, get in the cocoon. We're going to go here in just like 10 minutes. You doing okay? A little worried about your friend? Yeah. Oh, you're doing great. Cool. This is also a new swing, and it's all shedding. Brand new swings. Cool. So the idea is we want to start to initiate our back bends from our hip flexors instead of our waist. Most people, that looks good. Just bring your feet hip distance. There you go. You can bend the knees if you need to, but can there be a little bit more of a drop with the upper body? Just let your weight, yes. Your hip flexors talking to you? You feel them? Just a little bit? You're doing good. So most people will aggravate the lumbar spine from, let me help you out. I get a little twist here. You want to turn it out for a second? So we're going to think of it as a taco, right? We're getting the inside of the taco. Yeah. It's okay. And it might be easier to come in and out if it's a little lower, which I can do. You seem to be okay. All right, good. You got it. Bye-bye. Yeah, you just enjoy yourself. Really good, guys. Okay, so from our forward folds, now we're going to learn how to float. Everybody loves to float, right? So you start to drop your elbows down. So no weight in the upper body. Drop your elbows down, let your feet walk back. So no higher than a foot off the ground, but this is called floating leaf. Okay? So I like to pulse a little bit. So just pull yourself forward and back. Maybe sway a little from side to side. Just play with the floating, and you will feel it in your hip flexors. Yes, consider it a little bit of a massage. A little free massaging session. It's really, really good, just like that pressure under the arms. Even though it's sensitive, it's really good to clear the lymph system. It gets very stagnant and congested along the hip flexors, that lower connection in the body. So we're opening up the hips, we're opening up the shoulders. Those are the two main hubs that we focus on for the body. Okay, we're going to inhale and pull ourselves forward and then let the feet land, and then we push back into a down dog. So however you can get there, so you're gonna grow past the edges of your circle, so bring your hands off or your feet off if you prefer, but one of them is going to be longer, right? So these are 4-foot mats if you're, most people here are 5 feet. Okay, so go ahead and just play a little bit. I call it happy dog. Let your tail wag and sway from side to side. Now notice how much more room and space you have to explore in your down dog. Okay, arms are straight. You're pressing your hands firmly in, lifting the sit bones towards the sky. You have your favorite assistant pulling you up, and then your card is dropping down towards the earth. So these are called the cat's meow. It's like the down dog and the cat cow got together. So we're going to inhale and pull forward, arch and open, lift. Nice. Exhale, go ahead and press back in rounds. Look towards your navel. Inhale, come on up. Arch. So we're arching and looking up more than a normal down dog. So I pull my shoulders. Yeah, come up onto your fingertips and pull. Nice. And then exhale, go ahead and press back and round. So really round. Pull your nose towards your navel. Inhale, go ahead and pull forward. Arch, open. Beautiful. Length through the front of the body. Beautiful, nice, Milton. Exhale, go ahead and press back. Squeeze. One more time. Inhale, pull forward and lift. Let's go ahead and find our right leg up. Exhale, pull the knee towards the nose, press back. Inhale, pull forward and lift. You guys got it. Good. Exhale, go ahead and squeeze. Knee toes. So one-legged down, right? Inhale, pull forward. You can actually get a little bit of momentum, right, with the swing. Exhale, go ahead and squeeze. We're going to inhale and lift. So look at me for a second. So this is the outer part of the swing. This is the inner part. Okay, so you're going to kick your leg loop and hook the outer swing. Yeah, karate chop that puppy up there. You got it. You got it. Try it one more time. He's like, all right. There you go. Good. And just one-legged down dog for now. Okay? Really good. Now go ahead and press your chest towards your standing leg. Ooh la la. Big stretch, right? Big stretch to the hamstring. We have about 10 more minutes, guys. Just stick with it. You're doing great. I just want to walk you through a little bit more of an advanced sequence. You can just stay here if you're happy. If you want to go a little further, you're going to inhale, pull forward, straighten that right leg towards the sky, standing splits. It's completely unnecessary. It's just really fun. And then if you want to jump your left foot to the center of the mat, you can come into the full splits, which is probably further than most people have ever gone in splits. You're like, what? And then let your upper body drape down. That means your arms are relaxed. Yeah. Just press that leg straight if you can, Milton, just as far as you can. You're doing great. I know. Standing splits, even for really flexible people, are hard, so this allows us to go deeper without straining. So if you're straining, back off. See if you can just relax into it. Drop into it. Is there a way to let the splits feel good? Really nice, guys. Okay, everyone bring your hands back down to the ground. See, all my clothes are trying to come off now. One of my special clothes. Okay, find your left hand, place it on the ground, right arm towards the skies. Right, foot is still, yes, good. So twist, 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 twist. Can you twist all the way back and reach for the far edge of the swing? Yes, the far side, the other side. Milton, reach back.
This side.
Other side, there's two sides of the swing.
Oh, that's it.
There's, yeah.
Ah.
Almost, yes, you got it. Really good, really good, guys. Okay, one more challenging pose. So your left toes are going to turn out to the left, and you're going to swing out to a half moon. Yep, let yourself swing out. You got it. Half moon. Yep. Nice. Now, in a half moon, your belly's facing me, right? Yeah, really good. So stretch your neck, roll your head around. So good. Love it. Does anybody want to float and fly? Just pick your foot up, pick your hand up. Whee! He's like, I don't trust it. It's not going to hold me. Hey. All right, great, guys. Go ahead and land it. And that is our black swan sequence. Both hands back down to the ground. Start to bend the top leg. Land it in your happy dog. Wag it out. Shake it out. Do loops, infinities, circles, whatever you like. Really good job. And then find center. Okay. Second side with two legs, right? Inhale, pull forward, cat's meow. Oh, she's ready. She's like, I feel better now. All right, exhale, press back. Curl in towards your navel. Inhale, pull forward, meow. Exhale, press back. Really good, guys. Inhale, pull forward. Let's add the leg. Left leg raise. Don't hook it yet. You guys are so eager. I love it. No.
Oh, yeah.
Just the one-legged dogs. And then exhale, pull it in. Pull the knee to nose. Everyone's so ready. I love it. You must like that one. Inhale, arch and open. Exhale, squeeze knee to nose. Get your core involved. Inhale, open. Now your body is open. So Milton, this is really good. Then you kick. Bend the knee. Outside in. Other side. Outside in. Kick the leg loop. Outside in. That's the inside.
Oh, the other side?
Yes, you got it. That was it. Very good. Now go ahead and press the bend the knee first. Pull the foot down towards the bum. So the first one is the one-legged down dog, where we push the chest towards the standing leg and get the hamstring stretch. If we try to go into standing splits without getting that hamstring open, it's not going to be that fun. So just shake it out. Get the stretch, prepare the body. Then inhale, arch and open. Press the leg towards the sky. Now this might be as far as you go in your splits. If you want to jump right foot to the center of the mat, you can start to drop your body weight down. Now if anybody wants to feel extra playful, you can try flying. Try flying with your arms open wide, little airplane wings. It requires a little bit of balance. You can also clasp your hands behind your back and pull them over your head. You want to go a little bit deeper. If standing splits is challenging enough, completely ignore everything I'm saying. You're here to float and fly as you feel free. Have some fun with it. Just let it feel good wherever you are. And then we're going to bring our hands back down to the ground. Find your right hand in center. So it's important to bring your right hand in the center. Let your foot stay on the ground for this one, okay? Twist left arm towards the sky. So split and twist, and then reach for the far side. So you have to keep that foot on the ground to get it. Yeah, far side. This way. All the way back. You're doing great. Okay, now this is what happens. So can you try this? Just turn your toes out to the right and pick your hand up. You're going to, woo, pick your hand up. You're just going to fly out to the side. There you go. Nice. Reach up a little bit higher for half moon. Really good. Yeah, it's good to wiggle up. There you go. So you have enough space. Stretch the neck. And then if anybody wants to try it, you can pick up your hand and your foot and float for black swan. Whee! You did it. Watch your toes. All right, land it. Go ahead and bring both hands back down to the ground. Great job, guys. Start to bend the top leg. Land your down dog, happy dog. See if there's any wiggle or twists or some place that you can explore. This is going to be our last down dog, and then we're going to come through an airplane. Superman. Okay, so we have to try one more floating pose. So Superman. So inhale, pull forward for the cat's meow. Okay, arch and open. Thumbs have to be towards the sky. Doesn't work like this, right? Thumb has to be up towards the sky. So 1, 2. That's the yeah. So the other way. Sorry, Alexis, I think I confused you. Are you good?
I think so.
No, that doesn't look right. Yes, thank you. Okay, good. Yeah, well, you're there. Okay, so you have to reach up high enough, and then you guys are going to sync up. Ready? 1, 2, 3, lift. Whee! You did it. So this is the Superman. Nice and easy, right? There you go. You can bend the knees if you're back there, Lori, with some accoutrements. Nice, guys. Superman. All right, good. Yeah, I'm doing a little tiny kick because I have windows behind me. So we're not going through those. So that's our Superman. And then we're going to land it and come forward. Just walk forward. Really good, guys. You made it. Yay. We're flying angels.
I think I'm taller.
You definitely taller and brighter. Does anybody want a little sip of water before we go into our Shavasana? We're going to do some leg stretches when we get into the cocoon, so it's going to be about 5-10 minutes before we drop in. But I wanted to just give you a chance to have a little sip of water, shake it out. I know that was exciting. We're going to get ready for relaxation. You're doing great. You're loving it? Yeah, you're doing really good. Nice.
Wow.
You okay? You're like never again. You're in that shape. I had a speech this morning too. Oh my God, Mark was so hungover. My friend Mark, I was like, you stay in bed. I don't want you. Rather than hurling your cookies around here.
What was your drink of choice?
All right, let's not talk about it. She's all like,
She's like, I
There
don't
was
know.
multiple things involved.
All of them?
All right. So let's come back in. So the first thing I want you to do is, anybody need a potty break too? Feel free to use the potty. Really take care of yourself. Don't be shy. The first thing I want you to do is just practice getting a handful. So it is really important that we stretch it down underneath the bum, and then it expands to the knees. It's just nice to get enough material to do that really good. You're proud. Hummingbird people come alive.
Can I put my socks on?
Please, anything you want. Yeah, and I'll turn the heat up too. I am going to put on the Tibetan bowls, but besides that, I think the sound of the heater will be fine. I find the heat makes people even more nauseous, so I try to keep it to a minimum. It's like this whole process of like getting the elements just right. And then it does get easier. Every time you do it, it's like less nausea, less pain, you know, it just takes some getting used to. Mm-hmm.
Tetris. No, Tetris.
Oh yeah, I know. Isn't that cool?